Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Ever wonder why some groups seem to get ahead while others struggle? And how that affects whether we can all work together? Well, this new study dives deep into that very question. Imagine tackling big problems like climate change or pandemics. This needs people from different groups to cooperate, to share resources and work towards a common good. But what happens when some groups have built-in advantages, making them less likely to want to cooperate with others? This paper explores just that. They found that while this kind of structural inequality between groups creates big problems for cooperation, we can actually use people's dislike of unfairness to fix it. They use clever experiments and computer models to show how this works. Think about the big challenges facing our world. To solve them, we absolutely need cooperation that goes beyond our usual circles, our neighborhoods, or even our countries. This means shifting from only thinking about what is best for our own group to creating public goods that benefit everyone. Now, cooperation within our own groups is already tricky, right? We all know about the temptation to free ride, to let others do the work while we benefit. But when we need to cooperate between groups, it gets even harder. Groups can have very different starting points. Some might be naturally better off with stronger local systems or more resources, making it more attractive for them to keep cooperation just within their own group. This is what the researchers call structural inequality. It is not just about rich and poor individuals, but about entire groups having different advantages. Previous research has looked at inequality between individuals, but this study specifically zeroes in on how inequality between groups affects whether they can work together. To figure this out, they designed some smart experiments. So, how did they study this? They brought people into a lab and divided them into two groups of 3. Each person in the experiment got a set amount of resources, like points, that they could use. They had 3 main choices for their resources. First, they could just keep them for themselves, that is the free riding option. Second, they could contribute to their own group's club good. This meant the resources would benefit only their own group members. Third, they could contribute to an intergroup public good. This good, if everyone chipped in, would benefit absolutely everyone, no matter which group they were in. The key here is that contributing to the public good was always a bit costly for the individual. They'd get back less than they put in. But if everyone did it, it would be great for all 6 people. In fact, if everyone put all their resources into the public good, they'd triple their starting money. That is the potential payoff of cooperation. But here is where the structural inequality comes in. They set up different scenarios. In some, both groups had equally good club goods, meaning their own group's special benefit. In others, both groups had weak club goods, making the public good relatively more attractive. But the crucial part was when one group had a strong club good, offering high returns for their group, while the other group had a weak one with low returns. This created that structural inequality they wanted to study. They watched how people decided to split their resources in these different setups over many rounds. The results from study 1 painted a clear picture. As expected, when groups had strong club goods that offered good returns for their own members, they tended to contribute more to their own club. This is understandable. Why share if you get a great deal at home? But when both groups only had weak club goods, meaning less benefit from staying within their group, they were more likely to contribute to the intergroup public good. This makes sense if your own group's option isn't that great, you are more open to wider cooperation. Now, here is the really interesting part when they introduced structural inequality, where one group had a strong club good and the other had a weak one. Things got complicated, but in an insightful way. Members of the advantaged groups, the ones with the strong club good, reduced their contributions to their own group's club over time when they saw the other group was disadvantaged. They started investing more in the public good that benefited everyone. This suggests that even those in a privileged position might feel a discomfort, a sense of aversion, towards the inequality they are creating by only benefiting their own group. On the flip side, members of the disadvantaged groups with the weak club good initially reduced their contributions to the public good when they faced an advantaged group. It seems they felt discouraged, perhaps because their effort in the public good would benefit the already well-off group even more, without a proportional return for their own disadvantaged group. To really dig into what was driving these choices, the researchers used a computational model. They looked for inequality aversion, not just if people cared about their own money, but if they disliked earning less than their group mates or earning more. More importantly, they looked